Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today just got 3 new cards for the Justice Hunter archetypes. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check out these 3 new cards. So these cards are actually going to be released in Duelist Advance, which is going to be really cool that we're actually getting more support for Dragon Tail, Yummy, and K9. But let's go ahead and check out these 3 new cards. So first off, we have Sacramento Dragoon, and this card actually is really cool looking. So this card is actually going to support the Dragon Tail archetype. So let's go ahead and see what this card actually does. So this card is a level 8 light dragon fusion effect monster with 3,000 attack points and 1,500 defense points, and its materials are 1 dragon monster plus a spellcaster monster. This card is now another super poly target we have, which is really cool, but the entire Dragon Tail archetype revolves around using spellcasters and dragons to be able to fusion summon, which is pretty cool. So this card has the ability you can only use the third effect of this card's name once per turn. For the first effect, loses 100 attack for each of your banished cards. That's a little bit of a downside. For the second effect, your opponent's special summoned dragon and spellcaster monsters cannot activate their effects while this fusion summon card is in the monster zone. Whoa, okay, wait a minute. Your opponent's special summoned dragon and spellcaster monsters cannot activate their effects while this fusion summon card is in the monster zone. Are you sure this is supposed to support the deck? Because that actually sounds like it's going against the deck. That's actually insane. This card might be a counter to the deck to actually use as a super poly target, which is actually insane. This card is crazy powerful already. Okay, so for the third effect, you can target a dragon and a spellcaster monster in your graveyard, special summon one of them, and if you do, place the other on the bottom of the deck. Okay, it does support the archetype. That's actually really insane to be able to use. That is basically just a skill drain for dragon and spellcaster monsters that are special summoned to your opponent's field. That's actually really, really good right off the bat. That's easy to summon in the deck because it just requires a dragon and a spellcaster to make it. It does lose those 100 attack for each of your banished cards. Your opponent's special summon dragon and spellcaster monsters lose their effects. And then also, you can actually just special summon back one of your dragon or spellcasters that's in your graveyard. That is actually insane and kind of ties the whole deck really together. But it also is a pretty good counter to the deck because Dragon Tail is actually really strong right out of the gate. So this card is actually really good for the archetype, but also a great counter because of the second effect that it can kind of lock your opponent down a little bit. So this is actually really cool. I really like this. So it's kind of like a support card, but also a counter card at the same time, which is nice. Okay, so for the next card, we have Valen, the Psychic Sky Blaster. It makes me think of Castel, the Sky Blaster, but like a futuristic version of him. It is a rank 5, so it is from the K9 archetype. So this card is a rank 5 Dark Psychic XZ effect monster with 2,500 attack and 2,200 defense, and it's a generic rank 5, just requiring any 2 level 5 monsters to make this card. So for the first ability, you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. I love the artwork of this card. It looks so cool. Like you can see the psychic in the background. That's really cool. Okay, so this card is the ability for the first effect. During the main phase, quick effect, you can detach a material from this card, target a face-up monster your opponent controls, and change it to face-down defense position. I believe that's the same effect that Castel actually had, that you could actually Book of Moon something for just detaching one material. So that's actually a really cool throwback, and I like that it's actually like a bird and it's a Sky Blaster. So it kind of makes me think of Castel because it's a musketeer as well, and that's actually really, really cool. Okay, so for the second effect, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one set card and destroy it. That's pretty good overall. It's a great Book of Moon like effect to be able to flip your opponent's cards face down. It is a disruption because it's a quick effect to be able to disrupt your opponent, which is actually really, really good. I like this card overall. It's a really nice effect to just detach your material, target a face-up monster your opponent controls, and just change to face-down events. And then also if it's sent to the grave, you can just target a set card and destroy, which is actually really good overall, as you can basically just flip something, and then if it does get sent to the graveyard for a different effect, you just destroy the set card that you just sent, which is actually pretty good. Overall, great support card. I think it's probably going to be like a one of in the deck, but it's actually really, really nice. And I like this card. I love the artwork of this card. It looks really, really good. So for the last card, we do have a card called Onari, which actually looks really cool. And this is actually going to support the Yummy archetype. And this card looks really cute. I love the artwork of this card. This card looks so, so cute. Is it a link? It's a link to. Okay, so we have a link arrow here and a link arrow here. Okay, so this card is a Link to Light Beast Link effect monster that has 1500 attack, and its arrows are bottom and left, and it has a link material that has 2 light beast monsters, including 2 light monsters, including a beast monster, which the Yummy archetype is. So you can only use the first and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. For the first effect, if this card is Link Summon, you can target a quick play spell card in the graveyard and set it. That is broken. That is actually broken, and it also technically helps the Ancient Fairy archetype as well, I think, because you're going to be able to use this to be able to actually get back your cards, and also having the ability just to be able to use a light beast monster to be able to make it is actually really, really good. So for the second effect, your opponent cannot target cards in your field spell zone with card effects. Are you sure this is for Yummy and not for the actual Ancient Fairy archetype? They do have field spells in the Yummy archetype, but that's pretty good overall. For the third effect, if this card is destroyed, you can choose the following effects up to the number of cards in the field zone and apply them in sequence. You cannot choose the same effect twice. Destroy one card your opponent controls, non-targeting, by the way, and you can inflict 1500 points of damage on it. That's a time card. But it does have to be destroyed, which is not that big of a deal to actually get this card destroyed. But doing that 1500 points of burn damage is kind of like this card attacking you directly. So you can kind of do Onari for game, I guess, now. So it's kind of like Gaga Cowboy, which is pretty cool. And you can pop a card. That's actually really, really good. The Yummy archetype has already had an insane debut. It's already in crazy powerful deck. And it's really cool to actually see them give a little bit more support to the 3 Justice Hunter archetypes, especially Canine, that I feel like it needs it because it just feels kind of like Paradise Smasher Turbo right now. So it's actually really cool to actually see them actually get a little bit more support. I feel like this one is like okay because it's like a Book of Moon and a Destroy set card. So like it takes a lot of commitment to actually use this card, but it's pretty good to help you just Book of Moon something. This card is insane. This card might be the best of the 3 for Dragon Tail. I feel like it kind of gets progressively worse, but it's kind of like you get this one that's really, really good, and then you have Onari that's probably the second best one. I feel like this one's probably the worst one for him. But overall, great support. This card is definitely going to be a one-up. I can even see this card getting sided a lot because I feel like this card is going to be a great super poly target moving forward because it is a floodgate. It might be one of the most powerful super poly targets we've gotten in recent history because it just requires a dragon plus a spellcaster to make it. Like, that's so easy to pull off. That's so easy to be able to do, just to be able to put a dragon and a spellcaster monster into this card. And then also it does have that ability that loses attack points, but who cares? It comes out at 3k. Like, it doesn't matter. You just want it for a walking skill drain and to be able to use it as a super poly target. And then on top of that, being able to just target a spellcaster or dragon in the grave, spellcaster and a dragon in the graveyard, and special summon one of them. And if you do place the other on the bottom deck, you can use this in Blue Eyes technically, because you do play dragons and spellcasters, so you can easily fusion into this card if you play super poly as basically a counter card. So you could side this, you could put it in the main deck, or put it in the extra deck, excuse me. You could side it, you could use super poly to be able to deal with your opponent's board. It's actually pretty good overall, and I really like this card in the deck. But in Dragon Tail, this card is definitely going to see play. It's probably going to be a 1 to a 2 of in Dragon Tail. This card probably is going to be a 1 of, and the same thing with Onari. I feel like this card is probably going to be a 1 of as well. But overall, great support for all 3 of the Justice Hunter archetypes. But it is going to support Dragon Tail, Canine, and the actual Yummy archetype, not Sky Blaster, but Yummy, which is really cool because these cards are actually going to be released in Duelist Advance. But that's going to be this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Definitely tell me what you think of these cards down in the comments down below. They each got a new extract monster, kind of representing what each of the decks actually summons, where you have the fusion monster for Dragon Tail, you have the XZ monster for the actual Canine archetype, and you have a Link monster, but they also synchro summon inside of the Yummy archetype. But definitely comment down below what you guys think of these cards down in the comments down below. Which one you think is the best? I think probably the new Dragoon card is actually just insane. So that's going to be this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can come for our notification squad. I'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.